Hello, welcome once again to my channel. It's a brand new week, and we're still on the residue of trauma. Today, we'll be looking at the cost you don't see. See, I want to tell you something residue is expensive, not monetarily, but in misalignments that quietly compounds over time. It is the kind of cost that doesn't show up on your bank statement, not at all, but shows up in your life, in the conversations you avoid so as not to offend anybody, in the opportunities you second guess. Am I good enough for this? And in the relationships that you feel off, but you can't fully explain. Why? Because you just want to enter it like everybody else. You lose slowly, subtly, and silently. Relationships that you misinterpret because you're hearing people through old pain, not the present truth. Opportunities you don't step into because something in you whispers, what if this goes wrong again? What if I make a mistake again? Peace you don't sustain because your mind is always bracing, always anticipating, always remembering. And the truth is, you are not responding to what is happening now. You are reacting to what had already happened before. That's what residue does. That's why it is even called residue. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't say, hey, I'm the reason you're hesitating. Hey, I'm the reason you cannot take that step. It disguises itself as wisdom, as a caution, as I'm just being careful. I don't think I'm ready yet. I don't want to make another mistake. But in reality, it's unprocessed pain wearing the mask of maturity. Now let's remember a case study. Remember Nicodemus in the Bible? He had the access, he had a revelation, and he even had proximity. But he came at night. He still did what? He still came at night. Not because he didn't believe, but because something in him wasn't yet free enough to be seen in the daytime by everybody. He wasn't ready to take on the backslot that will come with his meeting with the Savior. Now look at the woman at the well. She had an encounter that could transform her life, but her history spoke louder than her possibility. She had learned to manage conversations, not open up in them, to survive interactions, but not to fully express them. Both of them had access, but access is not the same as alignment. Something in them showed expression or slowed expression, And that's where many people are today. You are in the room, but you are not fully there. You're in that opportunity, but you're holding back. You're in the relationship that will change your life, but you're guarded. You're being careful. You're treading softly so as not to. Not because you don't want to move, but because something in your past is still negotiating your present. Okay, now let's make it real. Residue is why someone gives you a genuine feedback and you hear rejection. You hear like you're being talked down on. You hear the negative. You listen to respond, but not to give attention to what that person is saying. A door opens for you, and instead of stepping in, you start overanalyzing. Someone shows consistency, and you still expect them to leave. It is why you read tone when there is none, why you withdraw when you should engage, why you delay when you should move. Residue distort interpretation. Currently on the social media, there is a trendy issue. I don't want to mention names. That's the residue of trauma. And interpretation shapes their response. And their response determines their outcome. So while you think life is just happening, what is really happening is this: your past is subtly scripting your present. And here's the most dangerous part: residue doesn't just sit there, it accumulates interest. Every time you avoid instead of address, withdraw instead of engage, assume instead of clarify, you reinforce it. You strengthen the very pattern that is costing you alignment. So now it is no longer just about what hurts you, it's about what hurt is still costing you. But here's the shift: awareness breaks the circle. The moment you can pause and ask, am I responding to this moment or reading from a memory? Am I responding to the issue at hand or responding or reacting to a past memory? You create space. You create space because space chooses differently: space to interpret accurately and space to show up fully. Because healing is not just what you've been through, it is about what no longer gets control of you. You don't need to prove strength by staying guarded. You don't need to protect yourself from everything. Some doors require openness. Some relationships require vulnerability. Some opportunities require full presence, not partial engagement. And you can't fully step into what is now if you are still anchored in what was. So, residue is expensive, but alignment is intentional. And the moment you start choosing presence over protection, clarity over assumption, and expression over hesitation, you begin to reclaim everything that residue had tried to quietly take from you. You begin to regain everything that trauma had kept you in bondage of. You begin to reclaim your power, your authenticity, your voice, and your presence. Until I come your way again, do have a fantastic week ahead. Remember, you only have the key to lock away your trauma for life. Do have a fantastic week ahead, like I said, and know that you are the best there was, the best there is, and the best there ever will be. Bye bye.